The recent hurricanes, earthquakes, and natural disasters taking the lives of hundreds of thousands of people, the continued threat of global terrorism, the ongoing struggle in Iraq, Afghanistan, and recently in Syria, the surging oil prices, the threat of nuclear war, the fear of some new viral epidemic are but reminders that we are closer to the return of Jesus Christ than mankind has ever been before. But you know, it was 2,000 years ago that the disciples came to Jesus and they asked him this question, a question found in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. It reads this way, "Tell us, when will these things be? And what will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age?" Now the disciples asked these questions because Jesus just made to them an unbelievable statement. We're told in Matthew chapter 24 that as Jesus and the disciples were leaving the temple grounds, the disciples said to him, "Teacher, look at these tremendous buildings. Look at these massive stones in the walls." And Jesus responded with these words, "Do you not see all of these things? Assuredly I say unto you, not one stone shall be left here upon another that shall not be thrown down." In other words, Jesus Christ predicted that this temple that they were looking at would be utterly and completely destroyed. Now, this was an amazing prediction because the temple was a massive building. In fact, it was one of the ancient wonders of the world. It took 63 years to build, it was covered in gold, it had 9 gates, its foundation stones were the size of a railroad boxcar. And when Jesus predicted that this building would be utterly destroyed, the disciples' jaws must have dropped to the ground. They probably thought that he was kidding or insane. You see, this prediction would have been like someone coming to us on September the 10th, 2001 and saying, "I predict that the twin towers of the World Trade Center will come crashing down to the ground in one day." But you know what happened just as Jesus Christ predicted? It was in AD 70 that the Roman general Titus invaded Jerusalem and set the temple on fire. This fire was so intense that the stones of the temple crumbled, and in order to retrieve the gold from the temple walls, these Roman soldiers dismantled the temple stones one by one, fulfilling exactly the predictions of Jesus Christ. It was after the prediction of the destruction of the temple, that the disciples asked him that question, "What will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age?" And in answering their question, Jesus Christ in Matthew chapter 24 predicted the events that would precede his coming. And friends, if this prediction concerning the destruction of the temple happened just as Jesus said it would, then we can expect with the same certainty that the future predictions about his coming will happen just as he said they would, which means we must be ready for the Lord's return. And my prayer is the Spirit of God would take the Word of God and prepare us for the coming of the Lord.